Streaming on clickorlando.com, you're watching News 6 at 10 p.m.
Now on News 6, lightning sparks a fire endangering homes and forcing families to evacuate. The incredible images in moments.
There are still some lingering showers out there right now on the radar, but meteorologist Jonathan Kegas says expects changes to our rain patterns starting tomorrow.
They take it out. It's incredible because this is part of the memorial.
A Pulse survivor reacts after the state paints over the Rainbow Pulse crosswalk overnight. Without warning, new at 10, the DOT tells us why.
But we start now at 10 tonight with some breaking details on the brush fire that's been threatening homes for hours. That firefight is not over at this hour, but the flames are now 80% contained. Thank you for joining us. I'm Matt Austin.
I'm Ginger Gadsden. The best news, those hardworking fire teams did protect all homes in the area, and those families who evacuated are now allowed back into their homes.
The fire put out enough smoke that meteorologist Jonathan Kegas spotted it on our News 6 pinpoint radar during News 6 at 6. It's believed a lightning from some intense storms may have sparked that brush about an hour earlier. This is happening in Mitco. Roughly 10 homes that were evacuated were along Cherish Drive. That's off Primrose Drive, south of Mitco Road, and a little south of Barefoot Bay. News
crews and viewers have been sending back impressive images all night long. Believe it or not, the closest videos, the ones that show the most flames, were a mile or two away from where the families had to evacuate. That's how intense this was. Now, these are neighborhoods where golf carts can outnumber cars as the way to get around. And while it may look bigger, at least at last check, the fire was burning about 15 acres.
Now, to give you an idea of the scope of this fire, the images you see behind us here were taken on cell phone cameras on Fleming Grant Road. It's about 2 miles due west from the evacuation zone near an FP&L solar farm.
Okay, so now take a look at what a viewer sent in 4 miles from the evacuations from her home off Laguna Circle. Tammy tells us there was no rain in the area when the lightning strikes started that fire. She says it grew very fast and she could only hope fire crews had enough people to safely get the job done. Again, the fire is now 80% contained.
Those fire crews will keep an eye on it overnight. Tammy did not see rain, but Brevard was under a thunderstorm warning at the time. Take a look at that. A viewer named Donna told us what she calls a crazy storm passed through Viera around 5:15. That's on the Sonoma area. No one was hurt that we know about, but Donna did show us the storm uprooted a big tree in her yard.
Yeah, so that's in Viera, about 40 miles north of the fire. Let's get right over to meteorologist Jonathan Kegas. And Jonathan, there's nothing better than when people in our neighborhood network can show us what's happening in their communities.
Absolutely. A great tool for that is clickorlando.com/pins, or in the free News 6 weather app, the Pin It section. You can send us those videos. I want to show you the Mitco situation. Viera was under that severe thunderstorm warning, but watch what happens as we head towards that. Just before that 5 o'clock hour, we'll wait for the radar to reloop again. That's where the smoke trail was, but watch what happens right about now. Those lightning strikes right on the cusp there, and then all of a sudden you see that green turn to yellow and red. That's the radar then picking back up on the smoke. We'll take you further up again towards where the severe thunderstorm warning was, again closer to Satellite Beach into Viera, Grand Falcaria into Melbourne. So an active evening tonight. Expecting thunderstorms in the picture tomorrow, although it's going to go a little topsy-turvy, so don't be caught off guard if rain is around in the morning, and then really through the latter stages of the morning and into the afternoon. I will show you exactly what I'm talking about when we talk again coming up at about 10:19, guys.
Jonathan, thank you. Well, tonight the rainbow-colored crosswalk near the Pulse Nightclub Memorial is back temporarily, colored in this evening by chalk-wielding people angry at the state. But there could be a wash away again on the rain tonight. That's the question. Overnight, road crews painted over the original crosswalk without warning, one the state approved nearly a decade ago to pay tribute to the 49 angels killed at Pulse. News 6's Jarrell Baker talked to a Pulse survivor along with local leaders and lawmakers who turned out there tonight.
Dozens, including Orlando Commissioner Patty Sheehan, used chalk Thursday afternoon to recreate the rainbow crosswalk near the Pulse nightclub. after state DOT workers painted over the area overnight.
They did not have the courage of their convictions to do this through a legal process. They did it in the dead of night, and we're here to say that's wrong.
Sheehan says the project was approved by the state nearly a decade ago to honor the memory of the 49 victims killed during the Pulse nightclub massacre. She says they gave the city no warning despite giving notices to Key West and Delray Beach over other rainbow-colored crosswalks honoring the LGBTQ community.
We did it through their process. And now they want us to change the rules after the fact? No. That's not fair. That's fascism.
I spoke with Joshua Hernandez, a survivor from the deadly shooting.
I was there for 3 hours in the restroom. I get shot 2 times.
He was visiting his mother from Puerto Rico when he heard the crosswalk has been painted over. He called the move homophobic and a political attack by the state that's disrespectful to the survivors and the 49 angels who lost their lives.
It's sad that they do this because this is being here from the day one.
Last month, U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy sent a letter to all 50 governors urging them to keep intersections free of political messages, artwork, and any markings not directly tied to pedestrians or driver safety.
This was a disgraceful, hostile act by our state government.
Dozens of local and state leaders condemned the actions of FDOT during a rally Thursday afternoon.
We will not be defeated. We will not be deflated. We are here to fight back.
Mayor Buddy Dyer sent out a statement calling it a callous action and accusing the state of working to erase the memory of the victims of the Pulse tragedy. This afternoon, Governor Ron DeSantis posted on X, "We will not allow our state roads to be commandeered for political purposes." Now, according to statements sent to us by the Florida Department of Transportation, it's the duty of the department to ensure the safety and consistency of public roadways and transportation systems, meaning ensuring our roadways are not utilized for social, political, or ideological interests. Also in the statement, they said in June, the agency reminded cities and counties of the change, warning that it could withhold funds for noncompliance. The U.S. Department of Transportation later reinforced the same policy. Now, last week, local governments not in compliance were told to bring their roads up to standard. In addition, FDOT says that it is now correcting pavement markings if they're not in compliance. Here in the newsroom, Jarrell Baker, News 6.
Tonight, the Castleberry couple charged in a deadly hit-and-run crash that killed a bicyclist are still behind bars, even though a judge granted them bond today. We broke the news this time last night. Troopers arrested 37-year-old Christopher Canay, who they say was behind the wheel, and his wife, 39-year-old Belkis Rodriguez. Your Seminole County community correspondent Catherine Silver was there as the couple faced a judge for the first time.
That was actually driving the actual vehicle.
Troopers say Christopher Canette and his wife Belkis Rodriguez didn't stop to help and didn't call law enforcement after the deadly crash. A newly released arrest report states Canette hit the biker just before 10 o'clock Saturday night when a witness saw a white BMW crossing over the marked bike lane on 1792 just past the Maitland Boulevard exit. 25-year-old Jordan Morrison was left lying on the ground. Just north of the scene, the report says troopers found the bicycle, which had been dragged more than a mile down the road to this auto zone. Thursday, our News 6 team saw the scrape marks left behind in the parking lot. It's here that troopers say Canette was caught on security cameras checking out the damage. And it's also where they believe his wife, Belkis Rodriguez, met up with him after the crash and followed him home.
At that point, when the bike was dislodged, he did not call 911. Instead, based on the arrest report, contacted his wife.
Rodriguez is charged with accessory after the fact. Canette is charged with a first-degree felony for leaving the scene.
He was trying to leave, Your Honor. I do not know if he was trying to leave the country, but they were packing their bags to go somewhere. And it just happens to be right after he hit someone.
Despite concerns from prosecutors that the pair could be flight risks, both were granted bond Thursday.
We've been trying to arrange for him to be arrested since Monday morning, Your Honor.
We spoke with their attorney outside the jail.
All people are innocent until proven guilty, even when horrible things happen like the death of someone on a bicycle.
Why did they think to call an attorney but not 911?
I have no further comments.
We're also learning that troopers say they first spoke to the couple the morning after the crash after they got a tip and they saw the damaged BMW in their driveway. According to Canette's arrest report, he claimed that he struck a ladder that was in the road that night. In Seminole County, I'm Catherine Silver, News 6.
Tonight, Orlando police are crediting surveillance cameras for helping them quickly track down the man accused of beating another guy unconscious. This was brutal here. And then a woman accused of stealing from him. This happened early last Friday morning at North Magnolia Avenue and East Central Boulevard in downtown Orlando. Crime Center detectives keeping an eye on those downtown cameras captured the fight and alerted neighbors and officers nearby. Police say the video shows Ahmed Hansford in a red hat punching the man multiple times, even after he had lost consciousness. Police say Ashley Weeksbury is the woman seen searching through the guy's pockets, taking his cell phone. The victim was taken to the hospital for treatment. Both suspects were arrested within minutes. Police say Hansford faces battery charges and Weeksbury faces robbery charges. Well, an absolutely nerve-rattling flight scared passengers flying out of Orlando.
Yeah, I had on News 6 incredible video as part of the wing appears to snap. See what happened next.
Space fans may want to stay up late as a secret space plane is supposed to lift off, why it could make some noise after the launch.
First, though, taking control how the city of Winter Park is changing the game when it comes to utilities, the success they are seeing, and how it's paying off with power bills being lower.
You're watching News 6 at 10, live on a Thursday night. We're covering Claremont, College Park, and all of Central Florida. Right now on News 6, one city that took a huge risk 20 years ago is now being rewarded, and it's paying off for the people who live there.
Yeah, not to mention anyone who uses power there. Winter Park fought to take control of its own electricity, and I went to Winter Park to show you how this bold move has made things brighter and cheaper. 2 decades ago, the city of Winter Park made a bold move that many communities only dream about, taking control of its own electricity.
It was a fight because the utility did not want to sell it to us. Even though we had the right to purchase in the agreement, they wanted to retain those customers.
Randy Knight is city manager of Winter Park. He recalls the challenges of acquiring the utility from Progress Energy.
Several legal battles, arbitration to set the price, but even so, 69% voted in favor of buying the system.
That is awesome. I was positive that it would be a boondoggle.
Ray Renfro has lived in his Winter Park home since the 1970s. He voted no on the referendum.
My experience with the city, state, and federal government, that it's very inefficient. So that's what I figured, that it would just be a big mess and prices would go up.
Turns out Renfro was wrong. From day one, Winter Park promised its residents more reliable power, better tree preservation, and a smarter approach to infrastructure. That meant investing heavily in putting power lines underground.
We have spent between $5 million to $9 million a year. We're currently 81% underground.
Burying power lines will also prevent these beautiful oak trees from getting that V cut you see right there. But it's also beneficial when we have hurricanes or those daily thunderstorms roll through.
The proof's in the pudding. It works. It gives you more reliable power when there's a storm.
Winter Park's municipal electric utility has not only improved reliability, it has been recognized statewide for both safety and performance.
Winter Park is the second most reliable utility in the state.
The Florida Municipal Power Agency and the Florida Municipal Electric Association recently honored the city with awards for crew safety and operational reliability. Knight is particularly proud of the safety recognition.
Because that means our employees are conducting themselves in a way that they go home at night, which is important for us.
Even more impressive, Winter Park has accomplished all of this while keeping rates lower than the big-name power companies.
As of the end of May, which is the last report that came out comparing all the utilities, we were 32% lower than Duke Energy.
So I was dead wrong. I'm glad they outvoted me.
As for Knight, retirement may be around the corner, but he's hoping to return one day for a full circle moment.
One of the things I'm looking forward to is coming back from retirement and pulling out that last pole.
Now, the underground project is expected to be fully complete by 2030. They were hoping to have it done by next year, but COVID and supply chain delays pushed that date back. But they are really getting it done. If you drive through some of those Winter Park neighborhoods, you see trucks out there all the time, and those poles are being plucked one by one.
Tell you what, having underground power lines, that is a beautiful thing in this state. Well, you mentioned power prices. Coincidentally, today, Florida Power and Light has reached a proposal settlement that, guess what, will raise base electric rates every year for the next 4 years. But it's not as big a hike as FPL really wanted. Their customers could see $945 million rate hike in 2026, $766 million in 27. Additional charges will be collected in 28, 29 for solar and battery storage projects. But not everybody who opposed the original rate request has signed on that new deal. It will be up to the state's Public Service Commission to make a final ruling at a hearing this fall.
Well, passengers on a Delta flight from Orlando had a scary experience when part of the plane's wing flap appeared to break off. This happened Tuesday on a flight from Orlando to Austin, Texas. Passengers noticed part of the wing flap was just hanging loose, kind of flapping, and a video shows it dangling behind the wind.
62 passengers and 6 crew members were on board. No one was hurt. The FAA is investigating. That'd be terrifying.
I wouldn't want to see that. Well, if you live on or near the Space Coast and you hear sonic booms overnight, it's probably not anything dangerous. SpaceX is set to launch the Space Force's secret X-37B orbital test vehicle. It looks and acts like a mini space shuttle built by Boeing to carry payloads for flights lasting more than a year sometimes. Liftoff is currently targeted for 11:50 tonight, with a sonic boom expected about 7 minutes later when the Falcon 9 lands back at the Cape. The 45th Weather Squadron forecast gives a 65% chance of go, improving to 80% at the end of that launch window. It ends around 3:40 in the morning.
You gotta earn it. All right, let's get you over to meteorologist Jonathan Kagas. We've had storms today, some nasty stuff at times. What are we looking at now?
Yeah, it's a good thing it wasn't earlier this evening that launched. There's no way that thing would get up, for sure. We had lightning all over the Space Coast. We still have a couple of stray showers out there, a couple of lightning strikes for us in and around Denellen. And this is going to be the theme, I think, over the next couple of days. Odd rain and thunderstorm time, so a great tool to get you through the weekend if you have outdoor plans. Right there, that free News 6 weather app, it'll get you through it. And again, tomorrow I'm suspecting that we are going to wake up to some downpours, especially west of Orlando towards the I-75 corridor, kind of where we have some lightning right now. And that will try to increase a little bit through the course of the morning and into the early afternoon as we get closer to I-4. 8 o'clock in the morning, downpour is going to be out there to the west. So again, early heads up again, taking the kids to school, getting them on the school bus. Be on the lookout for that. By lunchtime, recess, we're talking about scattered thunderstorms again, pushing from west to east, closer to the I-4 corridor. Then by 4 o'clock, I think most of the widespread stuff starts to exit the Space Coast, the Volusia Coast, Flagler Coast tomorrow. But then we're going to try to fire up a few more thunderstorms, just like what we did today. So here we go at 11 o'clock, future radar pinpointing where we have those downpours. But note the time here. And again, this is going to be critical to pay attention to over the next few days so you don't get wet, or don't be at least have these surprise you. There's 6, 7 o'clock on your Friday morning. There you go along the I-75 corridor with those downpours coming through. 9 o'clock for you on your Friday morning. We'll try to see a few more thunderstorms pop back up. But note the time again. Lunchtime, give or take, there likely will be some scattered thunderstorms around. Those will push back to the east as we get towards 4 o'clock. And then another push coming through by 8 to 9. So it's not going to be your typical storms fire up in the early afternoon, then we're done with them as they pass along by. There's a little weather system I'll show you in just 1 second. 79 New Smyrna Beach, 81 in Titusville. We're at 77 in Kissimmee. Now a look at tomorrow. Gets us back to the lower 90s. Extra clouds around, I think, the earlier start time for those thunderstorms. Also going to play a key role here, and I think that same pattern holds as we get into the weekend. So again, don't be surprised if the rain comes with the first half of the day, and that's what I'm expecting. First half of the day on the wetter side, when we're talking Saturday, temperatures getting back into the lower 90s both of those days. We have this stalled out boundary to our north, and that's really the focal point. It's pushing all the moisture out of the Gulf back into our direction. It's helping to get those storms firing, and really keeping these odd storm times, at least from what we're used to anyway. That's 5 o'clock on your Saturday evening, scattered thunderstorms still hanging around, and then back again Sunday morning, going to church. I think there could be a few scattered thunderstorms around again, so just be on the lookout for these weird times for storms and odd behavior of these storms through about Monday, and then I think we'll get back into what we all know and love for August standards in terms of those afternoon thunderstorms. 50% shot for storms on Tuesday. We'll keep that rolling right on through Thursday. Highs return to the mid-90s early next work week, guys.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. Well, one big problem with cryptocurrency schemes is they've been nearly impossible to recover money that was lost. Next at 10, we'll introduce you to the detective changing that narrative.
A breakthrough in the fight against cryptocurrency scams in Central Florida. For the first time in history, the Flagler County Sheriff's Office has recovered thousands of dollars in stolen crypto funds. I'm News 6 investigator Lewis Bolden. If you've been the victim of a crypto scam or you know someone who's been a victim, you need to see and share this story. I sat down with Detective John Hill, who shared how this game-changing technology is helping victims get justice. But first, so many victims do not. How are you feeling?
Completely violated.
Cindy Burns lost $15,000 when a bank impersonator convinced her to withdraw money and convert it to crypto.
I was close to taking my life.
It took an emotional toll when Elizabeth Ballman lost $90,000 the same way.
I was shocked. I said, there's no way.
And Brandon Page lost nearly $600,000 when his crypto hardware wallet was hacked. None of them have gotten their money back.
It's been stressful. It's been stressful. To know that, you took a blow like that is very significant.
Mainly because crypto transactions can move so quickly.
A lot of times previously we'd have to say, I'm so sorry for your losses.
Detective John Hill of the Flagler County Sheriff's Office Cybercrimes Unit says for the first time the department has recovered money for crypto scam victims. $15,000 in one case, $4,000 in another.
It's a great feeling. It feels like a little bit of justice for the victims.
Hill says they were able to do it with new technology called TRM, a program that literally allows them to follow the money and trace cryptocurrency through the blockchain to a destination. So is this changing the game with crypto?
Absolutely. This is giving us the tools that we need to move forward with these type of investigations.
With a crypto wallet address, which is like a bank account number for crypto, Hill watches as the money changes hands. On this graph, every dot is a wallet address and every line a transaction.
This wallet has held millions of dollars and made thousands of transactions, and you have to figure out which one is your victims and where's it coming out.
Once he traces his victims' funds, he can recover them with a search warrant. In this case, the account had more than his victims' $19,000. He keeps it all and is now looking for other victims who could be connected to the case so he can return money to them as well.
That's the ultimate goal. We want justice for our victims.
If you've been the victim of a crypto scam, keep any wallet addresses you have and report it immediately. Remember, don't fall for the scheme, don't get ripped off, but if you do, email me at theinvestigators@wkmg.com. I'm Lewis Bolden, News 6.
All right, thank you for joining us. You can find all of tonight's stories plus breaking news on News 6 Plus.
Have a great night. We'll see you on Friday.